Dear students, very good morning to all of you. Today we start a new chapter, Statistical Quality Control. So what is this statistical quality control? So here this term is used to describe the set of statistical tools used by quality professionals to test the quality of the product or process, whether they are running smoothly, whether product is good to use or not, whether they are to be sent to the market for sale or to use or not. So to say these all, we check the quality, and to check the quality, even statistical tools are used, certain statistical measures which help in analyzing whether those products are good or not, whether the process is running smoothly or not. So here already we in hypothesis chapter we learned certain things that there we are telling hypothesis, whether whatever average we assume for the population with help of the sample, so whether our assumption is right or not. For example, milk pouches. So a machine is filling 500 ml of milk, means average accepted milk is 500 ml. Whether that is right or not. If a machine is filling more than that or less than that, whether it is acceptable or not. Those all things we study there. The same thing here, we use quality tools to measure them, whether machine is filling correctly or not, whether those products should be sent to the market or not. In last chapter just we studied whether it is right or not, whether the machine is filling whatever is accepted average or not. But here we tell whether that product should be sent to the market or not with the help of the statistical quality control tools. So here this SQC technique is developed by Dr. Walter A. Shewhart. He was an employee of Bell Telephone Company of America in 1920. Okay, so usually we feel that the manufactured articles may not be in accordance with the quality standards. So here he assumed that he feels that certain things which are manufactured, they are not according to the quality standards which has to be. So here he has given certain examples. Cell phones does not function in a way it is actually designed. Here telephone is designed to speak with the persons. So sometime we may face a problem of voice clarity, network problem. So if they are not manufactured according to the standards, quality standards, then we may receive such problems here. And a new backpack with a broken zipper. So a milk packet does not contain a stipulated volume of milk. Just now I have taken an example. 500 ml means it may fill less than that, it may fill more than that. And no two bottles of soft drink are filled to the same level. So soft drink bottle, 200 ml, 300 ml, whatever, they are not filled with the same quantity. So those all things can be checked here. So here we can categorize SQC in three categories. So first one is the descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics, they are describing the characteristics and relationship such as mean, standard deviation, range, etc. So here we are just checking the average and distance or deviation between upper and lower limit or even standard deviation. And second one is statistical process control, SPC. So here this involve in inspecting a random sample of output from a process and deciding whether the process is producing product with the characteristics that fall within a predetermined range or not. So here it studies whether a process is functioning properly or not. Suppose Process means here machine is made to fill 500 ml of milk. Whether it is filling exactly 500 ml of milk or not, that is a process here. Certain things manufactured in a processing belt. For example, even a cloth is manufactured continuously in a meters of roll. It is packed. So in between, certain problem may arise. So whenever a problem is arising in the manufacturing process itself, that is studied here in this step, that is statistical process control. And the third one is acceptance sampling or product control. So here product, after completion of the or completed product, so finished goods which is ready to sell, ready to use, such goods are taken. So here it is a process of inspecting a random sample of goods and deciding whether to accept the entire lot based on sample tested results. And if it is accepted, then entire lot is sent to the market, or else it is rejected. Next, second is quality control and statistical quality control. So what is quality control? So quality control is just unsystematic inspection or verification of quality of the product. Unsystematic. So here there is no any particular ways to test or inspect the product or process. Just somebody will observe in his own way, and according to his perception, one will decide whether that product or process is of good quality or not. Statistical quality control means it is a method of controlling the quality of a product using statistical techniques. So statistical techniques means here we take samples, we measure as per the standards given, and we compare and we tell whether it is acceptable or not. For example, standard deviation, mean, range, etc. Mr. Grant, he stated that statistical quality control is simply a statistical method of determining the extent to which quality goals are being met without necessarily checking every item produced, and for indicating whether or not the variation which occurs are exceeding normal expectations. So here he tells that statistical quality control is the tool which is made to test the quality of the product by taking few samples from entire lot, not each and every unit. So suppose a company manufactured 1,000 products a day, so it cannot go for testing all 1,000 products. Based on few samples, the decision is taken whether entire lot is of good quality or not, whether entire lot is sent to the market for sale or not. Okay, so here the term quality means what? So quality refers to here the characteristics of a product which satisfies the standards specified for measurement. For example, here 500 ml milk pouch means here quality means if it should be filled by 500 ml. Then we say okay, the quality and quantity both are correct. And quality means here what certain for each and everything certain specification will be given. For example, if you take nut and bolt. So nut and bolt, the size will be given for both. 10 mm means 10 number nut and bolt, and the diameter of the ring that it should be fit with it. Certain deviations will be provided, 1% or 0.1% or whatever. Then only the both will fit in each other. Otherwise no. If they met that specified measurements, then we say it is a quality. Otherwise no. Okay, so need for quality control arises because of the fact that even after the quality standards have been specified, some variation in the quality is unavoidable in the products. So every time in the manufacturing, though we manufacture the goods with help of the machines, even nowadays the CNC computerized machines are there. So even though all techniques, new technology are used in producing the products, certain variation will be there at the time of manufacturing. It may be due to human error or maybe due to machine error. So here two kinds of variation we identify in a goods, quality of the goods, that may be chance cause and second one is assignable cause. What is chance cause and what is assignable cause here? Okay, so first here chance cause means here the chance cause a small amount of variation for which no specific cause can be attributed or identified is termed as chance cause. So here a small amount of variation. Here it's beyond human control. One cannot control it. One cannot reduce or one cannot eliminate this variation. So those all are what? Chance causes. For example, milk pouch. The machine is made to fill 500 ml of milk in a pouch. But every time it will not fill exactly 500 ml. It may fill more than 500 ml, 501, 502 or 505 ml, or it may fill less than 500 ml also, 490 ml, 495 ml, 498 ml. That 1 or 2 ml variation will be there. So this cannot be avoided. But when too much variation is there, which is not acceptable by the customer or which may be not acceptable by the company even, if it fills more than a certain level, then it is lost to the company. If it fills less than 500 ml beyond certain level, then it is lost to the customers. Then customer may complain. So such things which cannot be avoidable are called as what? Chance causes. Next, variation due to assignable causes. So assignable causes means here these can be identified and can be avoidable. Okay, so here variation that cause can be observed in the quality of the product, where the causes can be precisely identified and eliminated. So it can be identified and eliminated. Okay, so there assignable causes, the variation can be attributable to one or more causes. So here maybe because of any causes here. For example, if you take a cloth, even one thread is missing, that is also not of good quality. If color mixture is not made properly, or embroidery is not made properly, or any other variation that leads to assignable cause, which can be avoidable. Okay, so here it is because of even poor quality of raw materials. Okay, and in electric devices, fluctuation of the electrical voltage, and due to lack of training to the employees, or improper functioning of the machines, or various reasons, that assignable cause occurs due to any of these causes and which can be avoidable. Okay, so if the variation is allowed to persist, it will continue to create a series effect in quality of the product. That means if it is this cause is may allowed to continue, so it the machine will produce the same defects in all the goods, or the untrained person will produce the goods with the same mistakes, same defects. Okay, so here manufacturing process undergo through 3 stages, and they are specification, production and inspection. Specification is the quality standard of measurements fixed for an item to be produced. So that means here whatever product we are producing, certain specifications will be given. For example, if you are manufacturing a nut and bolt, the size, width, depth, length and diameter, everything will be given. As per that specifications, one has to manufacture here. So that example can be taken here. And the production means the production of the items must be according to the proper specifications. What specifications are given? according to that specification product should be produced, and after producing we are going to verify, we are going to inspect the manufactured products. So in these stages the manufacturing process go through. When we go through these all processes, then we go for quality checking. Then what are the advantages of this quality checking standard SQC? So first one, to improve the quality and to decrease the proportion of the defectives. So here first advantage of quality control is to improve the quality of the products and also reduce the proportion of the defectives. And second, to eliminate faults and prevents the loss due to spoilage and rework by timely identification of the assignable causes. So here second, the assignable causes which occurs due to variation because of many causes. It may be by causes by the machine, defective machine or defective manufacturing or lack of training or raw material, whatever it may be. So by checking, cross-inspecting every often, we can avoid them. So to avoid them, we can use this SQC tool, and to prevent financial loss by changing the production technique when the process goes out of control frequently. So if a machine is not functioning properly, and if it is coming to repair, or if it is manufacturing defective goods every often, so then we can take a decision to change the machine. So for such decisions, even this SQC will help. And to producer, the producer can guarantee his product with confidence. So whenever we apply this SQC with confidence, one manufacturer can say to his customer that they are of good product, the good quality, and they can be used and they are not harmful to the consumer. And next advantage is it provides greater quality assurance at lower inspection cost. So here lower inspection cost, because here each and every product which manufactured, we are not going to check them. Just by taking a few samples with statistical tools, we are inspecting and we are telling whether the entire lot is of good quality or not. And next is the very presence of SQC system alerts the personnel in the production plant. So SQC system, it alerts the persons who are working in the manufacturing plant that something is going wrong, something is some error has occurred here, so go and check. So these are the advantages of quality control techniques. And there are two different stages of manufacturing process where quality control techniques can be applied. So first one is process control. Process control means here when the production is going on, during that production process itself, we can apply this. That is called controlling the quality of the goods during the manufacturing process itself is called process control. That is, the production process is said to be statistical control if the products are free of variation due to assignable causes. So here, if any assignable causes are there, it can be avoided. So we can give guarantee to the customer that our quality, we are giving quality products here. Okay, and here for that continuous inspection is required. So by adopting continuous inspection method using control charts, this process can be controlled here. And next comes product control. So product control, it is either finished goods or semi-finished goods or unfinished goods which we are inspecting. And then we are giving confirmation whether the product is of good quality, whether it is manufactured as per the specifications or not, and whether it entire lot should be acceptable or not. So here process inspection of manufactured lot for acceptability is called product control or acceptance of the sampling. So here finished goods we check. Then quality control measurements. So statistical process control is used to monitor different types of variables and attributes which are statistically measured, such as averages, ranges, standard deviation and proportion, etc. So that comes under variables and attributes. So variable means already we learned that quantitative measurement or characteristics which varies from unit to unit. So here finished goods, certain specifications will be given, so which we can measure. For example, the length of the nut, okay, or bolt, okay, so that we measure whether all the bolts are manufactured with the same specified length or not. Then we decide. So here that may vary from each one. So that can be measured here. And here measurable quality characteristic which varies from unit to unit is a variable, measurable quality, that is quantitative characteristics, the size, height, width, weight, all, everything. Okay, and the next one is comes attributes. So qualitative characteristics which varies, which cannot be measured but can only be identified by the presence or absence in the attributes. For example, in a cloth, certain flowers are designed, and in that flower certain color, various colors are filled to the petals. If one color is missing, or on another color is painted on the cloth, then by observing that we can identify whether there is a defect or not. Okay, so here to measure these variables we take use of X bar and R charts. X bar is mean, so average we calculate and we check whether that product is good or not, and R means range we calculate, and using that we check the quality of the product. These are X bar and R charts are used for control of variables. And next NP chart and C charts are used to control the attributes. Okay, next defects and defectives. So here defect and defectives, two are very close terms but they both are different. So here defect is a quality characteristics which does not conform to a specification. So here a characteristics which may be by observing one can identify whether that whatever specification is given, according to that specification the product is there or not, that specification is there or not, that we check. So that tells here whether it is defect or non-defect. And the item which has defects, it may be one or more than one defects, that product or item is called as a defective item. So defective items means which has a defect in it. So here misprints, damages in waving of clothes, bubbles in the glass bottles, excessive thickness of the glass pane, and infest in the apple, a fold or scratches in a paper. These all are defects, and these defects having such items are called as what? Here defective items. Then here comes limits. 3 sigma limits. As we know that a normal variate, that is normal distribution, in theoretical distribution chapter we learned already. So when x tends to the normal distribution with mean mu and standard deviation sigma, then from area of a property of normal distribution, that is we all know that normal distribution has the normal curve certain the properties of normal distribution already we learned there. The curve, entire curve has the area of 1 and the total area, the range is here minus infinity to plus infinity. And here mean, median, mode, all three are equal, that is mu. And from mu we are going both the side, mu minus 1 and mu plus 1, that we refer as point of inflection. Point of inflection, that is mu minus 1 and mu plus 1 up to 1 sigma, and total area is covered by mu minus 3 sigma and mu plus 1 sigma, that is it covers up to 99.74%. So if we say in the proportion that it covers total area of 0.9974, approximately equal to 1. Okay, so here this 99.74% of observations lie within 3 limits, and only 0.26% of the observation lie outside these limits. That is, if 10,000 products are manufactured, if 10,000 products are observed, out of these 10,000 products, 26 products lies in the outer area, that is 0.26 remaining area. That is, if we say in the hypothesis chapter, that is the critical region and acceptance region, only 0.26% of the product lies in the defective or critical region. So while constructing the control charts, control limits are nothing but here 3 sigma limits. So here 3 sigma limits means this limit we check whether product is lying outside this limit or within this limits. So here hypothesis chapter, here no much difference, there the diagram is different, there we are taking the table value and we are checking. Here we are drawing a diagram in a different way using 3 sigma plus or minus to the mu, and then we are checking. So how to construct this control chart then? So the control chart is drawn taking 3 control limits, those that comes under 99.74%. The manufacturing process is said to be in control when all the observation lies in this plus or minus 3 sigma. So what is this plus or minus 3 sigma? So first central limit we draw, that we can say mu here, and mu minus 3 sigma lower control limit and mu plus 3 sigma upper control limit. This upper control limit and lower control limit and control central line, these vary. The formula for calculation of these 3 limits varies depending on which graph or which tool we are using, whether X bar chart or range chart or NC chart, NP chart or C chart. Okay, then next what we here. So here is the diagram to check the quality of the product. So central line is CL, average line, that is mu, and mu plus 3 sigma, that is upper control line, which is shown in above the average line, and lower control line, that is mu minus 3 sigma, which is below the average line. So after drawing these 3 control lines, we go on plotting the specification, the variations on this graph sheet. If any point lies above the upper control limit or below the lower control limit, then we say that the product or that process is not under control, and entire lot manufactured by that process or product will be defective. So here determination of quality control limits. Okay, the control charts we need to population parameter of the quality characteristics, that is specifications. So sometimes parameters are available from the past production process or experience. If they are well accepted, we say that they are known standards given. So based on the past experience or earlier past production process, which are acceptable by everyone. If they are given in the problem, they are known as standards and given. If we don't know them, we don't know what are the standards, then based on the present lot, so machines or manufacturing process are set afresh, we are new in manufacturing, and the parameters are not available with us. So the product parameters are to be estimated for the data, from the data whatever available here. So then they say standards are not given, which we are going to calculate based on the products which we are manufacturing now. So here for construction of X bar and R chart, we need mean, range and standard deviation. Three things we need. One is average of that particular products or process, then range, then standard deviation. Okay, so here for standards, when standards are known for X bar charts, R charts, we denote them by X bar dash and sigma dash. If standards are not known, we denote here X bar as a X double bar and range as a R bar. Okay, then for construction of NP charts and D charts, if we here fraction defectives are needed. Fraction defectives, when standard is known, when already we know the standards proportion fraction defectives, it is denoted by P dash, capital P, and when standard is not known, it is denoted by P bar, small p, P bar. And in construction of C charts, if standards are given, that is number of defective, average number of defective is given, that is standard. Suppose standard is given that in 1,000 products if you manufacture, in that 3 will be defective. So standard is given there. Then that will be denoted by lambda dash, and standard is not given. So based on the manufactured products, we have to check out of how many we are manufactured, how many are defective. That will be denoted by C bar. So these are what standards, when standards given, how they are denoted, and when standards are not given, how they are denoted. Okay, and finally the formula parts. Okay, so here types of control charts. First to control the variables, control charts for variable X bar chart and R chart, and control charts for attributes are NC chart and C chart. And here are the formulas given in the table, which are there in your textbook. Okay, so standards given X bar dash, central limit, and lower limit X bar dash minus A sigma dash, and upper control limit X bar dash plus A sigma dash. What is A here? A is a table value which is available in the table. So that table is given here. So A value, for when size of the, here A value depends on the size of the sample, and for your syllabus here, sample size is taken only 4 or 5. If sample size is more, then the value will vary. So for when sample size is 4, A value is 1.5, and when sample size is 5, A value is 1.342. So when standards are given, A value we need. Then next, when standards are not given. So central line is X double bar. So based on the sample, we calculate X double bar here, and our lower control limit is X double bar A2 R bar. So see here, when standards are given, we take standard deviation, and when standards are not given, we take range, average of the range. Okay, that is R bar, and we need here A2 value. So A2 value, again it depends on the sample size N1 and N2, and upper control limit is X double bar plus A2 R bar. So what is the A2 value here? A2 value for when sample size is 4, 0.729, and when sample size is 5, A2 value is 0.577. Okay, so this is about X bar chart. And next R chart. R chart here, when standards are given D2 sigma 1. So standard deviation will be given here. Using that standard deviation and table value, we find center line small d2 and lower limit d1 sigma 1 sigma dash and upper control limit d2 sigma dash. What is the value of your d1, d2 and small d2? So again that will be find here in a table. So d2 value for when n is 4, 2.059, and when n is 5, 2.326, and d1 value always it is 0 for both n is 4 and 5, and d2 value, so it is 0. When n is 4, 4.698, and n is 5, 4.918, and d3 value which comes when standards are not given, again it is 0 for when n is 4 and 5, and d4 value when n is 4, 2.282, and when n is 5, 2.155. So the formula for R chart when standards are not given is R bar, that is average of the ranges, and lower control limit is D3 R bar. So D3 is 0 here, so D3 into R bar is 0, and upper control limit is D4 R bar. So remember one thing here, certain time if we get lower control limit below 0, that is less than 0, in a negative if you get, then the lower control limit is restricted to 0, because if a product is having no defects, that means 0 defects, we cannot say less than 0 defects. So the lower control limit is 0 or above 0, not less than 0. That lower control limit doesn't go in a negative. Then so next comes control charts for attributes. Attributes means we study here defectives and defects. So first one is for defective, that is NP chart. It is also referred as D chart. D chart means defective chart. And here we check defects every often from the lot of manufacturing lot. So suppose n number of samples we take, in that k samples of size n. In a lot of how many products are there, from that how many samples we have taken, and from each of them we study whether is there any defective products or not. So here K and N, these two are important. Then defective, with help of D indicates here number of defectives, and here defective follows a binomial distribution with mean NP and standard deviation NPQ. So NP means here mean and NPQ standard deviation. So here number of defective follows binomial distribution, remember that. So standards is given, population proportion E will be given, capital P, P dash and N size, and Q will be identified, 1 minus P is equal to Q, that already we know. So here central limit for standard given is N P dash, and lower limit is NP dash minus 3 standard deviation, so that is root of NPQ, and upper control limit NP dash plus 3 NPQ, that is 3 sigma again. And when standards are not given, so here P bar refers to here mean of the average of the P here, proportion, and NP bar is standard not given, central control limit, and LCL lower control limit is NP bar minus 3 sigma NPQ bar, that is standard deviation, and upper control limit NP bar plus 3 sigma, that is NPQ bar, root of NPQ bar. Then here P dash indicates proportion of the defectives. And when proportion is not given, we calculate with help of the defect is given in the problem, that is using the formula P bar is equal to summation D. Summation D indicates the total number of defective items divided by NK. NK indicates total number of observation in K samples. C charts for number of defects. Here this studies the number of defect in a product or in an item. It follows a Poisson distribution here. C follows Poisson variate with the parameter lambda dash. That is average of a Poisson distribution, mean of a Poisson distribution. So here each item or a product will be taken, and from that product, in each product how many defects are there will be counted. For example, if you take a cloth, in 1 meter of cloth if you take, how many defects are there in that 1 meter of cloth we identify. So what are the defects here? So if a printing mistake is there, then that is also one defect. If color mixture is not there, that is also a mistake. If a thread is missing from the cloth, that is also a mistake. So various kinds of mistakes or defects we identify and we count them. And we calculate here for how many defects are allowed by taking the standards limits here. So control limits are here. Central line, that is average of Poisson distribution lambda dash. If standard is given, if standard is not given, it is C. C denotes here number of defects observed from the each of the samples. C bar. So C bar again here formula is there, that is summation C divided by K. And standards are given. Lower control limit is lambda dash minus 3 sigma lambda dash. That is because why lambda dash here? Because Poisson distribution has mean and variance both are equal here. So root of lambda is nothing but standard deviation. Then upper control limit is lambda dash plus 3 root of lambda dash. That is 3 sigma. So standards are not given. So when standards are not given, we calculate average by taking the number of defects. So C bar is a control central limit, and lower control limit is C bar minus 3 root of C bar. Again here root of C bar because it follows the Poisson variate, follows Poisson distribution. So C bar itself is a variance. So root of variance is standard deviation 3 sigma. So upper control limit C bar plus 3 sigma, that is 3 root of C bar. So here we complete theory part of statistical control chapter, and next class onwards we calculate the problems on control chart, both X bar chart, R chart, and NP chart and C charts.